Hello again, welcome to another edition of the Real Ale Guide. Again, we've got Chris joining me on the review. We're going to do, well, the first beer was great, wasn't it? The Real Ale, absolutely fantastic. So we're going to crack on with the extra, the double IPA. Double the amount of hops and double the amount of everything, I believe. So just going to crack it open. That's the Real Ale. Oh, slightly, the tops are quite hard to come off. They seem to have like a plastic, there you go, like a plastic innard. So they've used oversized caps, I believe. We're just going to pour some out for the ladies to try, and then we're going to get in with this beer. Okay, here you go, Mrs. Real Ale Guide, if you want to say hello.
Hello. Cheers.
Take them away. And now we're gonna pour these beers out and give it a review.
See you later.
Thanks, Mel. Okay, this is your glass. It seems, the colour seems deeper to me. Wow, look at that. The beer's producing a lot of head, I've got to be honest.
A lot of fizz on this one, yeah.
Yeah. How much have we got? Massive amount of head here on the beer. We're going to struggle with this one. So they are bottle conditioned. I'll just leave this here for a minute and then we'll perhaps I'll read the back first, let these beers settle down because there's a massive 4-finger head there going on. Do you want to read that out, Chris? Is that alright?
Back on the guide again. It says it's extremely aromatic, extremely rich and extremely intense. An extreme version of the Real Ale where the key is extreme amount of hops. It says it was a game for him which became one of the most famous beers in the world.
Oh, that's fantastic. I guess it's going to be extreme because they put the word extreme in 4 times, I think.
I'm guessing, yeah. 6.4%, and it says an amber colour, which they're not lying. Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at that. Very much amber, big head. Seems to be, I don't think it's as lively as the Real Ale. It's the Real Ale Extra. See if we can get the rest of this bottle in.
It's an extreme head.
Extreme head for an extreme beer. There you go. Okay. Kind of aroma are we getting? It's going to be hard to get an aroma past such a big head, so you have to excuse us. Well, mind you,
This coming through the head. It's stronger than the previous one.
So it's all the same hops, all the same malts, but extremely done. That does smell grapefruity. Okay, I'm going to try and get past this head and have a taste of the beer. Wow. That is a fantastic. Oh. Isn't that fantastic?
That's a belter.
That is like, for me, it's like concentrated tropical fruit juice. Straight out of the concentrate. It is that so much full of flavour.
That's like drinking grapefruit juice, but with a beery taste.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And again, like Chris mentioned earlier, the 6.4% ABV, but you wouldn't guess it. You wouldn't be able to guess that because it drinks like a 4% sessionable lager, doesn't it?
Yeah.
ABV wise, nothing like a lager. I know it kind of looks like a normal beer, but sometimes I wish that these cameras had smell-o-vision because you really would be able to get the really strong aromas of this beer.
Our Mrs. Real Ale Guide has just said the kitchen smells much like a brewery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just from the first one. Yeah.
That was just from the first one, yeah. Did you say that won an award, Chris? Was famous all over the world?
Famous all over the world.
I can see why. I really can see why. This gives me more of a fruity finish. The finish is fruity. It's
Shows up on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah. And for some reason it don't seem as bitter. It don't seem as bitter as the first one. You know, that last bite doesn't seem to be there with this one.
No. No, so there's a little slap around the chops around there. It isn't there with this one.
It's a little bit more rounded. And this is great. Well, this is going to be the highlight of my year reviewing beer. It really is. This is, again, Birra Del Borgo. You've done a fantastic job. This is very, very good. Right, so, what are they saying with the flavours? I'll take out all of the extreme words. It's aromatic, rich, and it's intense. It is intense. An extreme version of the real ale with a key's extreme amount of hops. So what they're trying to say is, again, the grapefruit is massive, absolutely massive in this. I'm not really getting the caramel. Are you getting the caramel?
Not of this. More so on the last one, maybe. This is overpowered by the fruit.
Massively. But I tell you what, I am getting a little bit more is the spices, the aromatic spices, just a pinch more than and you mentioned in the first review of the Real the sweetness is. I think this is more grapefruity than ever.
It's almost making my gums recede.
That's a good way of saying it. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a classic beer. And again, the first beer, the head didn't climb onto the side of the glass. With this beer, look, you've got great lacing on the glass. That's the word. I was looking for the word. Great lacing on the glass. Should we give these a wash around and see what we get in the nose? Well, really, it hurts your eyes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, yeah. He said it's been a game for him. If his game was to accentuate every one of the flavours that was in that previous one,
yeah,
he's played the game well.
He's achieved it. I mean, he really has achieved it. Yeah, fantastic. I'm very, very excited by this brewery. I mentioned in the first review that I would talk a little bit about the craft beer scene in Italy. Over in this country, Chris, we've been brewing beer for over 2,000 years. Very traditional, toffee-ish beers, real ales. Slightly hopped IPAs. Nothing on the. We were talking earlier about the Green King IPA. It was 3.4% in the volume, and it's nothing, nothing at all like this type of IPA.
No.
This style of IPAs come from America, where they grabbed hold of our traditional IPA and they funked it right up. They really have funked it up. That has now passed on to Italy. The brewery was set up in 2005, so the brewery is 6 years old. They're doing incredibly well for the age of the brewery. They sell beer all over the world. But Italy, over here we call it real ale. Everywhere else in the world they seem to call it craft beer, in America and Italy and France. But, I'm mincing my words a bit here, but what's going on is Italy are opening more craft breweries in Italy than the rest of the world combined. It is taking off like storm. So we're in the middle of very exciting times. Very exciting times. And if you come across this beer in Waitrose, would you buy a bottle?
Yes, I'll buy two.
It's that much of a good beer.
Make sure nobody else could get it. Yeah.
What about the real ale? Would you go back to the real, or would you prefer this double IPA?
I prefer this one because I don't tend to drink beer with meals.
Yeah.
I like to have beer as a separate experience. You know, and I'll eat what I want with it. You know, this would go lovely with a bit of Parma ham, something like that.
Fantastic.
Sticking with the Italian theme.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just the bang of flavour is enormous. You wouldn't want loads.
No.
One of these would be more than enough for a gentleman.
Absolutely, and I think it's something we haven't touched on really, and well, you've just touched on it now, is the fact that they put it in quite a large bottle. And I think if you were to have this for yourself, it would be enough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be enough, which...
You go to bed happy.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't go to bed... Yeah, I think that's what is changing in what they're trying to do in the craft beer scene, is change the way people drink. Years ago, people would go to the pub, they would drink 4 or 5 pints, watch the football, go home with a bloated belly and go to bed, whereas this is more like you're looking for flavours, isn't you? And it's more like a wine. Yeah,
and this is the modern day equivalent of a good Chianti, or something like that.
Absolutely.
Just a different set of flavours, a different texture. It's
good mouthfeel to the beer. Yeah. I think it's going to catch on. Do you think it's going to catch on?
I think it's got to. It's the only sensible way. This, what you can get these days for 5-6 quid for a bottle of wine, you won't get anything as good as this for that kind of equivalence.
No way. Absolutely.
You're looking at 10-15 quid for a wine that will give you as much fulfilment as this.
It's great. Absolutely great. I really enjoyed this beer. Again, well done to Birra Del Borgo. I'll just read out their website. If any of you are interested, be sure to check it out. It's very good. It's www.birradelborgo.it. Comes in a 75 centilitre bottle and it's 6.4% ABV, and it's their extra real ale. Okay, I'm going to ask you to give this a rating now, Chris, if you don't mind.
I went for 8.75 on the last one.
Yeah, good choice. Have a taste.
I'm going to go for 9.25 on this.
9.25, that's an incredibly high rating. Incredibly high. But it's an incredibly high beer.
Brilliant.
They've mentioned the word extreme and extremely, not on the back of there, that's Italian. But extreme and extremely on this card here about 4 or 5 times. And it is, isn't it? It is an extreme beer.
There's no fibs.
No, absolutely. I think I'm going to join Chris on that. I think I'm going to match him up. I'm just going to finish this off and... I like the way the beer sits in my stomach as well. It's not overly carbonated, is it?
It looks fizzy because of the head, but it's just settles nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think I'm going to join Chris on a 9.25. I think he's got it more or less spot on. Thanks for watching the Real Ale Guy. Thanks for Chris for joining me.
Sorry.
We're going to do a few more reviews in the future. Chris has told me he'd like to suggest a few beers which he would like me to try on the show, which I haven't tried. So Chris will be bringing some beer here for us to review. He's looked at a couple of the beers I got on the shelf as well, and he thought I'd like to try them. So we're going to get him in to do a joint review. I think it's been great to have somebody. It's been a bit lonely on my own, to be honest. It's great to get somebody to talk to on the show. You can email me at realaleguide@googlemail.com. I love your emails, I'll always answer. Facebook is www.facebook.com/realaleCraftBeer, and Twitter is twitter.com/realaletoday. But most of all, I love your comments on YouTube. Make sure you always comment, I'll always answer. Subscribe if you like. Thanks to Chris.
Right.
And cheers everyone for watching.